This channel has officially hit 1,000 subscribers. Twice actually, because the first time we hit 1,000 subscribers, someone unsubscribed as soon as it hit 1,000 after I took the screenshot, and then someone else subscribed about an hour later. So I've been thinking about how to celebrate this milestone, and what better way than to take a look back at some of my favorite games of all time. These are some of the games that have left a lasting impression on me, games that I'll always remember and that have brought me so much joy. Games that I will probably always go back to at some point, at some time. But before we dive into that, I want to give a huge thank you to each and every one of you that have subscribed. Your support has recently been absolutely incredible. I mean, it's always been incredible, but recently the channel's just been doing really well for some reason, and hitting 1,000 subscribers is just so awesome. So to all 1,000 of you that have subscribed, thank you. Now, without further ado, let's get right into the video. When I think about my favorite games of all time, the first game, well, one of the first games that comes to mind is Borderlands 2. And Borderlands 2 is a game that, surprisingly, it didn't really appeal to me at first, and I remember renting it from a video store back when that was still actually a thing that you did, and trying it out on my Xbox 360, I know, a long time ago. I played Borderlands 2 for about 30 minutes, never even really made it that far, but it just didn't grab my attention, so I popped it out of the Xbox, put it back in its case, and returned the game the very next day without much thought. Fast forward maybe a year or however long it was, I'm not really sure to be honest with you, but I decided to give it another shot. This time, when I started playing, I couldn't stop playing. Everything about the game felt incredible. The humor, the characters, the loot system, it all just worked for me, and I was completely hooked. I spent countless hours playing Borderlands 2 with all the different characters, and after that, I went back and played the first Borderlands, and I really enjoyed that Borderlands game too. I even played the pre-sequel after when it released, and when Borderlands 3 was announced, of course I pre-ordered it. But out of the entire franchise, I always come back to Borderlands 2 in particular because it is still my favorite out of all the games in the franchise. It's just one of those games I feel like I can always return to and have just as much fun as the first time I played it. And with Borderlands 4 on the horizon, I'm excited to see where the series goes next, even if I was a little bit disappointed with the third game. But no matter what, Borderlands 2 will always stand out as one of my all-time favorite games. Oh, and don't even get me started about the Borderlands movie. That was just disgraceful. I probably said this a lot in lots of streams, maybe anytime this game is brought up, but this is one of my favorite games of like all time.
One more time, old friend.
Dishonored was a fantastic game on its own, but Dishonored 2 took everything to the next level and improved on the original in pretty much every way possible. Story, gameplay, and art style. It's a game that truly captivated me, and I found myself playing and beating it multiple times on both Xbox and PC. Every time I come back to Dishonored 2, it's just as much fun as the first time I ever played the game. The gameplay is incredibly satisfying, and for me, the standout features are the powers that are in the game and the stealth mechanics. There's something so rewarding about carefully planning your approach, using your abilities to outsmart enemies, and executing your strategy flawlessly, or just improvising when things go wrong, or just straight up going in loud and just dominating. The movement just feels so fluid, the combat too, and this game just makes you feel powerful with the powers and the combat and the movement. It's just a great time. And then there's the art style. The world of Dishonored 2 is beautifully crafted with its unique blend of Victorian-inspired architecture and surreal otherworldly elements, the steampunk theme, and the cel-shaded graphics. The design of the environments, the atmosphere, and the overall theme of the game is just simply incredible. It's a game that I'll always enjoy coming back to, and there's a certain level in the game that I always will remember that has like time travel mechanics in it, and I'll never forget the first time I experienced that level. It's rare to find a game that combines so many elements so perfectly, but somehow Dishonored 2 just does all of it, and for me, it's a 10 out of 10 game, a masterpiece. It's just, if you haven't played it, just go and play it right now. Actually, don't do that because then you'll be leaving this video, but wait until this video is over, and if there are any games in this list of games that you've never played, I'd recommend you go out and give them a try.
Aside from the fact that I'm still alive.
Black Ops 2 is a game that I'm sure a lot of people aren't surprised that it's on this list, because I'm sure it's on a lot of people's list. But Black Ops 2, I will always remember fondly, not just because of the game itself, but because of the countless memories I have playing it with friends and family, and I'm sure many of you can relate to that feeling. Don't get me wrong though, the game was fantastic on its own and remains one of the best Call of Duties ever released. I remember staying up late playing the zombies mode with friends, and those were the moments that really made this game special. The multiplayer was just as good and I had just as many memories, and it offered endless amounts of fun. And let's not forget the single player campaign. It was also engaging and memorable with great storyline and truly some epic moments. I know for a lot of people, Black Ops 2 was the game that got them into Call of Duty. I know it was for me. But all in all, Black Ops 2 was a game that wasn't just fun to play, and I won't remember it just because of the gameplay and the game itself, but all the memories that were made while playing the game and all the friends that I made while also playing that game, those are the memories that I will always cherish. It's just one of those games that will forever hold a spot on my favorite games of all time list.
I don't know what my dog is doing, but my dog has just been like teleporting.
Minecraft is one of those games I don't even think I need to explain why it's on this list. Most people already know why, and I'm sure it's on plenty of other people's list as well. I first played this game back in 2012 when it first released on the Xbox 360, and since then I played it on Xbox 360, Xbox One, PC, phone, and tablet, accumulating thousands of hours along the way. I used to stay up all night playing Minecraft with friends, and it never got old. Just me. Whether it was in survival mode or creative mode, I had an absolute blast with this game. I built so many things in Minecraft. I even created my own wave-based game inspired by COD Zombies at one point in like 2015, and I got a few friends to play it. But one of the most nostalgic things I still have is on an old hard drive with my first ever creative world. It's filled with all kinds of creations, both mine and my friends. It's like a time capsule of my journey in the game. I might even revisit it and make a video on it one of these days because there's a lot to explore in that world, and it was my main creative world in Minecraft, and I had it for so many years. Pretty much everything I've ever built in creative mode on Minecraft is in that world as far as I remember. Hunt Showdown is a game that I know most of my friends know is my favorite game. It's been my most played game for quite a while now, and I've been playing it ever since it entered early access in 2018, and I was never going to get this game, but my brother convinced me that it would be an awesome game and that we should play it. When I first tried this game, I wasn't too impressed. The game ran terribly on my PC, always dropping below 60 frames per second. The game looked good, but it didn't run as good as it looked, and my brother felt the same way. We both stopped playing after about an hour because of how horrible the game ran, and well, we just weren't having fun playing it. But a few months later, I decided to give it another shot, this time on my own, and from that point on, I was absolutely hooked. Hunt Showdown became one of my favorite multiplayer games of all time. There's just something about the PvP gameplay and the overall theme of this game that I just can't seem to get enough of. I've made quite a few videos about Hunt, and along the way I've made some great friends. I still play it almost every day for a few hours with a friend, and honestly, I don't think I'll ever get tired of this game. Sure, there are moments where I get frustrated with the game, and sometimes I don't agree with the changes they make, but no matter what, I always find myself coming back and enjoying the experience. This is a game that if I don't know what to play or I just want to have some fun, I can always go to this game because I will always have fun playing this game. And I'll probably always play this game until the servers get shut down.
Oh my gosh, why are they still chasing me? Get away from me. Get away from me, wolf. You're gonna kill me.
Skyrim is a game I didn't know even existed until one day in 2012 or 2013 when my brother gave me a Skyrim disc for the Xbox 360. I'm not exactly sure why he gave it to me. I can't really remember the exact reason, but I am really glad that he did give it to me, because when I got home, I popped the disc into my Xbox, and from the moment I started playing, I was instantly hooked. I was so addicted to this game. In fact, that I stayed up all night playing it. The next morning, when my mom saw me still playing at 5 a.m., she yelled at me to go to bed. Luckily, it was summer break, so I didn't have school to worry about. I probably would have gotten into way more trouble if it had been during the school year, but I was so immersed in the world of Skyrim that I couldn't stop playing, and I forgot about time. I was so immersed into the game that the real world just didn't exist anymore. I was in Skyrim. Skyrim is just a game that I played countless times, both unmodded and with mods, and you best believe that when I discovered you can play the game with mods, and when mods first came to the Xbox, it was just an incredible moment as my mind got blown a second time when I discovered that there was mods. Skyrim is just one of those games that you can just always come back to again and again, and I know I'll play it many more times in the future. There's just something about the world, the quest, and the endless possibilities with modding also that just make it unforgettable.
It's not no ambush, we're ambushing them.
Fallout was a franchise I'd known about for a while, but I never really played any of the games myself until Fallout 4 was announced. For some reason, I really wanted to play it. Even though I haven't experienced the previous Fallout titles, I remember asking my parents to pre-order the game for me, and I really wanted the game, and they did. I'm not sure exactly why I was so eager to play Fallout 4 since I haven't played the earlier games, but when Fallout 4 released, I downloaded it straight away. The moment I started playing Fallout 4, I was completely hooked once again. It was just like Skyrim or Minecraft for me. I just could not stop playing. I became totally immersed in the world of Fallout. The setting, the world building, the characters, the gameplay, the music, literally everything about Fallout 4 captivated me. It quickly became one of my favorite games. After diving into Fallout 4, I started going back to play the previous Fallout games like Fallout New Vegas, Fallout 3, and even the older Fallout 2. Each game brought something unique to the table, but it was Fallout 4 that really sparked my interest with the Fallout series.
Rumors persist about a super mutant refuge nestled high in the ski lodge to the north.
Well, you probably saw this one coming since Fallout 4 was on the list. I got into Fallout New Vegas because my brother was live streaming it one day and he told me that his favorite game in the franchise was Fallout New Vegas. He also mentioned that he thought it was the best Fallout game in the franchise on top of that, so naturally I had to try it for myself, so I picked up the game along with all of its DLC. And wow, what a game it turned out to be. The story, the characters in Fallout New Vegas were, in my opinion, even better than Fallout 4. The way the narrative unfolds, the factions you can align with, and the depths of choices all made for a truly unforgettable experience. I also found myself liking the world and setting much more than Fallout 4. The Mojave Wasteland had this unique charm, and the atmosphere was just perfect for the kind of open world RPG I enjoy. On top of that, it also had Mr. New Vegas, and you can't get much better than that. That is still hands down the best radio station in any Fallout game. With that said, the one thing I missed from Fallout 4 was the base building. I had so much fun creating my own bases and compounds in Fallout 4, and while New Vegas doesn't have that mechanic, it didn't take away from the overall experience. The game more than made up for it with its incredible story and world building. This game, along with Fallout 4, really got me into the Fallout franchise, and since then, I had played almost all the games, besides some spin-offs like that one top-down shooter one that I can't quite remember its name, and I have Brotherhood Tactics, or whatever it's called, but I haven't really played it. But Fallout 1 through 4, New Vegas, and Fallout 76, in my opinion, are all good games. Some are better than others, and I know people will disagree with me because I put Fallout 76 in there on that list, but I think after all the updates, it is a much better game, and I quite enjoy it, and it also allows me to play Fallout with friends, which is awesome.
Oh! Shadow, I was calling you! I heard you scream!
Oh. Garrys Mod is a game I first discovered through Vanos Gaming and Node. Watching those videos made me want to try the game out for myself, but at the time, I didn't have a computer that could handle many games. Despite that, I somehow for some reason, got Garrys Mod in 2014, which was also the first game I ever bought on Steam. It wasn't until I got my first real gaming computer in 2015 that I truly dove into the game. From that point on, Garrys Mod became a game I played almost every single day for a few years. I explored so many different game modes like Sandbox, Murder, Dark RP, Purge RP, Death Run, Slasher, I mean you name it, I probably played that game mode. There was just so much variety and the fun was endless. What really made Garrys Mod special for me was how it felt like the game's only limit was my imagination. It's a lot like Minecraft in that sense where you could create, play, and experience whatever you wanted in the game. I also made quite a few friends through the game, playing the different modes, and I'll always hold a special place in my heart for all the good times and memories that I made playing this game. And now that I think about it, I think I have to come back to this game soon because I haven't played it in a while.
Alright, girl.
And then last but not least on this list is Red Dead Redemption 2. When Red Dead Redemption 2 first came out on PlayStation, I kept hearing people rave about how it was a masterpiece, how I needed to play this game. But at the time, I didn't play on PlayStation, so I waited. A whole year later, the PC version was released, and even then, I debated whether or not to get it. I'm not really sure why I hesitated, because as soon as I started playing the game, I realized just how incredible this game really is. And just like some of the other games on this list, from the moment I stepped into its world, I was completely immersed. This game is worth every penny and truly lives up to its reputation as a masterpiece. At least in the single player experience, the online is a whole different story. The online is definitely not as good, but you still can have some fun in it. But the story, the characters, and the world in the single player are all on another level. The detail in this game is just absolutely insane. Like every part of the game has so much detail, things that you wouldn't even think about, and if they weren't in the game you probably wouldn't notice that much, but they're in the game and those details are there. Like for example, one like just crazy detail is at the beginning of the game these people start building a house and you pass them a lot, and as days pass by in the game they complete their house more and more until eventually at the like further in the game their house is completely built and they're living in their house. And one time like their area gets like attacked and you can like help them out and stuff, and it's crazy how much detail there really is into the game. I don't have enough time in this video to describe all the details and all the good stuff about Red Dead Redemption 2. Red Dead Redemption 2 is just the kind of game that pulls at your emotions and grips you from start to finish. And I tell you what, if you're playing Red Dead Redemption 2 story mode and you play it all the way, you're gonna feel something. And that sounds kind of weird, but honestly I feel like Red Dead Redemption 2 is a game everybody should play at least once. Even for people who don't normally play games, I'd still recommend it just for the story alone. It's that powerful. If you haven't played this game yet for whatever reason, I can't recommend it enough. And if you have heard all these good things about this game and you just passed on countless sales, I don't even know what can convince you to play this game at some point, but you really should.
You here for the auction then?
Single loveliest thing I've seen in my whole
Well, you
life.
ain't here for the sheep. You won't get much more in Valentine, except shit on your shoes and a punch in the face. I swear, if I never see a sheep again, it'll be too soon. Bleeding little shits. I have dreams some nights of going over to that auction yard and gunning them all down. Anyways,
Hey there,
enough of that.
Howdy.
feel like having a good time right now?
So this video is already getting kind of long and I'm not actually done with my list, so there might have to be multiple parts to this video, and I can think of some other games, so I'm thinking maybe multiple parts here. But that has been some of my favorite games of all time, and I'm definitely going to have to do a part 2 and maybe possibly a part 3, I'm not sure yet. But once again, I just want to say thank you for all the support, and if you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that like button, leave a comment below, tell me some of your favorite games of all time and what you think of this video. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button because you want to be subscribed, and I'll see you next time.